Have you ever wondered what would happen to our world if humans suddenly disappeared? Imagine a world where every corner of every city falls eerily silent. No cars honking, no bustling crowds, not even the hum of electronics. This is the immediate reality of a planet suddenly stripped of its human inhabitants. In the blink of an eye, all transportation grinds to a halt. Trains stand still on their tracks, airplanes no longer streak across the sky, and streets once filled with the ceaseless flow of traffic lie abandoned. Power plants, without operators, swiftly shut down. The absence of human oversight means no electricity generation. Streetlights, homes, and entire cities plunge into darkness as power grids go offline. The infrastructure begins to feel the impact almost immediately. Skyscrapers, bridges, and tunnels, once symbols of human ingenuity and persistence, now face the relentless forces of nature unattended. Without maintenance, the decay sets in quickly, leading to gradual degradation. With no one to maintain them, our bustling cities would start to see changes faster than you might think. Now imagine the first 48 hours without humans. In the heart of our bustling cities, the sudden silence is profound but deceptive. As the sun sets on the first day without humans, the vibrant glow of city lights begins to flicker and fade. Power plants, no longer supervised, start to fail. The automatic systems of nuclear facilities might run on backup generators, but without human intervention, even these temporary lifelines will soon falter. Streetlights, neon signs, and entire skylines that once blazed throughout the night now slip into darkness. Meanwhile, the homes and apartments that pepper these urban landscapes become eerily quiet. Inside, domestic animals face their new reality with confusion. Dogs bark at the unusual stillness. Cats perch by windows, their eyes tracking unseen movements. Without their human caretakers, these pets are left to rely on their diminishing instincts to find food and water. But the urban environment is not static. As domesticated creatures grapple with their newfound solitude, the enclosures that once confined zoo animals are no longer secure. Elephants, tigers, and other exotic fauna find their cages unlocked, gates ajar. These animals, both bewildered and curious, begin to explore the concrete jungles that are suddenly devoid of human life. Predators and prey, released from their artificial habitats, roam the silent streets and overgrown parks. As the grid fails and animals roam free, the line between urban and wild begins to blur. Within weeks, the signs of nature reclaiming its space become evident. Imagine the streets and buildings, once symbols of human civilization, now slowly surrendering to the relentless force of nature. The first to emerge are the hardy pioneer plants, those resilient species that thrive in disturbed soils. They begin their conquest in the cracks of sidewalks and the expanses of abandoned parking lots. As days turn into weeks, the green tendrils of weeds and grasses start weaving their way through the asphalt and concrete. These plants are not just surviving, they are thriving, exploiting the smallest openings to anchor their roots. This is nature's first wave of reclaimers, setting the stage for a more diverse ecological takeover. The rapid growth of these plants is astonishing. Without the constant trampling of human feet and the suppression of regular maintenance, vegetation begins to blanket the once bustling streets. Vines, unchecked and untamed, crawl up the sides of buildings, wrapping around windows and doorways, pulling at the edges of roofs. In places where cars once parked and traffic lights blinked incessantly, wildflowers start to dot the landscape, adding splashes of color to the green canvas. These are not random occurrences but a testament to the resilience of nature, its ability to regenerate and flourish when left undisturbed. Trees, those silent sentinels of the urban landscape, begin to assert their dominance as well. Saplings sprout in gutters and through cracks in the pavement, their roots slowly but inexorably breaking apart the foundations of human construction. Over time, these young trees will grow to reclaim the skyline, transforming the urban jungle back into a literal one. Abandoned vehicles, once symbols of mobility and freedom, become planters for the seeds carried by the wind. Moss and lichen attach themselves to the surfaces, breaking down the metal and glass, returning nutrients to the ecosystem. Streets once filled with the hustle and bustle of daily life are now quiet gardens. A few months in, and wildlife begins to assert its dominance. Imagine bustling cities, once the playgrounds of humans, now becoming the new frontiers for the animal kingdom. With no humans to control their movement, animals start migrating into cities, transforming concrete jungles back into natural ones. In places like New York or Tokyo, where pigeons and squirrels once scrounged for parkside snacks, larger and more diverse species begin to appear. Packs of deer can be seen grazing on the overgrown grass of Central Park, their ears twitching at the unfamiliar silence of the city. Predators are not far behind. Coyotes, emboldened by the lack of human interference, roam the streets in broad daylight, their eyes keen and alert for a chance meal. The resurgence of these predator species brings a new balance to the ecosystems previously distorted by human activity. With no one to manage them, populations of smaller mammals and birds flourish, only to be naturally regulated by the return of their predators. This cycle restores a semblance of the natural order that had been missing for centuries. In coastal cities, the absence of human noise and pollution allows marine life to thrive. Dolphins are spotted more frequently near harbors, their slick backs arching through the water, a sight rarely enjoyed in the presence of bustling maritime activity. Even the occasional whale can be seen breaching just off the coast, a powerful symbol of nature's resilience. But it's not just in the realms of flora and fauna where changes occur. Insects too reclaim their old territories. Bees buzz more freely among urban flowers and parks, their populations beginning to rebound as pesticide use plummets and plant life diversifies. As the seasons change, so too does the landscape of these urban areas. Trees begin to crack through the sidewalks, their roots breaking apart the concrete as if nature itself is taking a deep restorative breath. From deer in downtown shopping districts to wolves roaming industrial parks, nature is making a grand comeback. Fast forward a century, the Earth has transformed. Imagine cities once bustling with human activity, now silent, their skyscrapers and homes draped in a lush green veil. Nature, in its relentless pursuit, has woven a tapestry of life over the remnants of our civilization. As we traverse this reimagined landscape, iconic landmarks and buildings are barely recognizable, cloaked in dense vegetation. Vines creep up the rusting frames of bridges and trees root in the crevices of crumbling concrete. What were once busy highways are now indistinct, obscured by a thick carpet of grass and wildflowers. The paths we carved on the earth are erasing as nature reclaims its territory. In places where the noise of cars and crowds once dominated, there is now the serene sound of wind rustling through leaves and birdsong echoing in the open spaces. The air is cleaner, the water's clearer, and the sky a deeper shade of blue, unpolluted by the smog of industries. Even materials like plastics and metals, which once seemed indomitable, have begun to degrade. Plastics crumble into smaller fragments, slowly being reclaimed by the earth. While metals corrode and are consumed by rust, their shiny surfaces dulled and disintegrated over time. In this new world, the boundaries between urban and natural have blurred. Animals roam freely among the ruins of our once great cities, which have transformed into new wild habitats. These spaces, once symbols of human achievement, have now become forests and meadows, a testament to nature's enduring power and resilience. Thousands of years later, what traces of humanity remain? As millennia roll on and our cities crumble, the Earth begins to swallow the remnants of our civilization. In this distant future, the planet looks vastly different. Forests have reclaimed the land, and what were once bustling metropolises are now layers beneath the surface. Let's dive into the geological changes that occur over such expansive periods. The Earth's crust continually shifts and transforms, processes that bury and preserve the echoes of our existence. Future geologists exploring these layers might find a peculiar stratum filled with compacted remnants of our buildings, tools, and everyday objects. This layer, saturated with the artifacts of the 21st century, tells a story of a civilization that once thrived. Imagine these explorers uncovering layers of plastic, concrete, and metal, materials engineered to last ages, now mere geological footnotes. These materials, resistant to the erosive powers of nature, slowly degrade. Plastics break down into microplastics, becoming part of the geological record. Concrete crumbles as its iron reinforcements surrender to rust, and skyscrapers, once symbols of our architectural ambition, reduce to mineral deposits in the Earth's strata. Even our most enduring monuments, the great testaments to human ingenuity, face the relentless force of time. The pyramids of Egypt, the Great Wall of China, all these might erode to barely recognizable forms, their once sharp outlines softened by the centuries. As mountains rise and continents drift, the face of the planet reshapes, and with it the last fingerprints of human presence fade. The slow erosion of these materials and structures illustrates a powerful truth. nature is profoundly patient and persistently transformative. It works tirelessly, through wind, water, and tectonic forces, to reclaim even the most stubborn traces of human endeavor. In geological terms, our time on Earth might be seen as a blink of an eye. So what does this journey through a world without humans teach us? As we've explored the theoretical absence of humanity, from the silent cities in the first few days to the wildlife dominions and the overgrown ruins of what once was, a profound narrative unfolds. It tells of the resilience and adaptability of nature. Buildings crumble and streets crack, reclaimed by relentless greenery, and animals roam free in landscapes no longer shaped by human hands. The echoes of human civilization linger in structures like the Great Wall and the pyramids. Yet even these colossal monuments will eventually succumb to Earth's unyielding natural forces. This journey underscores the ephemeral nature of our creations compared to the enduring cycles of nature itself. While humanity has certainly left its mark, Earth's story is long and nature has a profound capacity for renewal and resilience. The legacy of humanity, impressive yet fleeting, reminds us of our responsibility and the impermanent imprint we leave on this ancient, ever-changing planet.